Hey, what is up, guys? Your boy Izukaga here with part 3 of What If Deku Was Black. Let's begin. Deku had just received his letter from UA telling him he passed with 50 villain points and 80 hero points. Deku ran to his mom, showing her the results, then calling Jiro. Hey Jiro, guess what? You got into UA? How did you know? Bro, we applied to the same school and I passed, so there's no chance you would fail. I guess so. You want to celebrate later? Yeah, sure. After she came back, Deku's mom has been treating him to everything he wants. And when she called him down to breakfast, Deku sat down and asked, Mom, we need to talk. What's wrong? Do you need another PSN code? Wait, I know, you want the PS5. Don't worry, I have it pre-ordered. How do you have the... That's not the point. Mom, I know you want to make up for how you treated me in the past, but you can't act like it didn't happen, because it did. So just, chill out and be normal. What, I'm not normal? No, Mom, you're good. You're just coming off a bit strong. So just go to the spa or something and chill out. I'll go into the studio with Jiro. Deku left, and on his way, 3 guys pulled up on him. Yo, where's our money? Bro, I don't owe you anything. I don't even know you. And as he tried to push past them, the guys blocked him. Hey man, just give us our money and we won't have a problem. And the guy reached around the back and flashed his 9mm pistol. Deku laughed and asked, what are you gonna do with that? You'll find out if you don't give us our money. A quick backstory, Deku was involved in some gang violence when he was younger, so he has history with these guys. Deku just raised his hand slowly, then quickly knocked the gun to the side, but the guy still had a grip on it. Deku kicked the other 2 in the face and ran into an alleyway. The guy began shooting towards the alleyway, and as soon as he emptied his magazine, Deku pulled out a Uzi with a silencer and started spraying, hitting the 3 guys, killing them. Deku began to run, even though he wasn't in the wrong. It was just instinct. Deku got to Jiro's place out of breath. Did you run all the way here? Yeah, just a light workout. Don't worry about it. Where do you want to go? Before we do, I wanted to ask you a question. Are you ever gonna come out as being Lil Oife? Funny you ask, I've been planning this for a while. In 2 days I have a concert and have around 100,000 seats sold out. Whoa, and you were just not gonna tell me? Come on, we have to go practice the performance. On the day of the concert, Deku arrived at the venue in his casual Nike fit and gold watch. Many people who had been lining up outside saw him, and some recognized him as Deku, but they don't want to believe it, so they just put it in the back of their heads. Deku was backstage preparing to go on when Jiro came up and hugged him, wishing him good luck. Deku smiled and walked out onto the stage with a black robe covering his face. His song All In slowly became louder and the crowd grew quieter. And when the bass dropped, Deku unrobed and started singing. The crowd went wild and started singing along. All this hype energy lasted around an hour, then he began wrapping up the concert. After, Deku made people line up to get autographs, and there he met some of his childhood friends and some people from the entrance exam. Bakugo walked and shoved his poster into Deku's face while looking down. Just sign it already. Deku signed it and said, hope you enjoy the show, Bakugo. After the show, Deku and Jiro celebrated their success and they went over to Izuku's house, where they slept like logs. Inko peeked in the room and chuckled and put something on his desk with a note attached. You'll have to find out later what that is. The next morning they had to go to UA and they were running a bit late. The 2 quickly rushed out the door to school, and upon entering the classroom, everyone stopped and stared at them. Deku got a bit ticked off and said, what the hell you guys looking at? Jiro grabbed his hand, signaling him to calm down, and the 2 walked to the back of the class, where they sat together. All the students started surrounding Deku. Oh my god, Lil Oife, bro, your concert was amazing. When's the next one? Lil Oife, bro, I've been following you since you were on SoundCloud. Lil Oife, bro, give me an autograph, Lil Oife. Basically, everyone was getting rowdy, and Bakugo just got angry, but he couldn't deny it. Deku was lit. Aizawa told everyone to quiet down and meet him outside. Deku went to the changing room to get into his gym clothes, and when he took off his shirt, all the guys saw Deku's bullet holes. Kirishima just thought how manly he was. And Deku, just quick description, he is 6'3". By the way, he's only 16. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds of just muscle. He's just built different. When they got outside, Aizawa called up Deku to throw the ball, and Deku took off his shirt to increase his strength and threw the ball 300 meters. Aizawa saw that he only just barely threw the ball, and he threatened to expel the person who came in last place. Deku took this as a threat from Aizawa and pulled out a similar RPG from the entrance exam and loaded the ball into the barrel and shot it 920 meters. Everyone was shocked at how far it went. After they did other tests like the 50-meter race, where Deku's just genetically fast, plus he trained so he ran that in 3 seconds, coming first. They did other small tests like sit-ups, grip strength, and seated toe touch, etc. All Deku did fairly well in coming first in the overall test. Mineta began to cry because he came last place, so he knew he was getting expelled. Then Aizawa said, "It was just a prank, bro. Stop crying. I wasn't really gonna expel anyone. I just wanted to see you go all out. Plus, you have some potential even though your quirk is a bit lackluster." While Class A was doing this, All Might was watching to see if there was any young hero capable of taking his quirk. After school, Izuku was approached by All Might, who asked him to meet him in his office. All Might explained One for All and his injury, but Deku wasn't really on all that BS. He just wanted the quirk so he could get stronger. "Yeah, sure, old man. How do I even get this quirk? All you have to do is eat a strand of my hair." Eat a strand? No, that's gross. Don't you think? Well, sorry, if there's any other way you'd like my DNA, then tell me. You want to, drink my blood, saliva, sweat? Choose one. Okay, give me your hair. All Might gave Deku his quirk, and over the course of a week they've been training. From this training, Deku can now control 10% of One for All. One day, All Might burst into the classroom. "I am here." Most of the class was surprised, and All Might dapped up Deku. Chiro asked, "Whoa, Deku, you know All Might?" "Yeah, he's one of the homies." Everyone heard this and was shocked, and All Might went on to explain the hero versus villains test. He picked teams randomly, and the first matchup was Deku and Momo versus Bakugo and Todoroki. Deku and Momo started to create a plan, and while they did, Izuku was flirting a little and bringing up the fact how their quirks are a bit similar. Momo blushed, and the two entered the building where they're supposed to either capture the members of the villain team or touch the bomb. Deku picked up Momo off her feet, bridal style, and began running to the top floor. Halfway there, they met Bakugo, and Deku let Momo go on ahead to go find the bomb. Bakugo, being beaten by Deku multiple times, knew that there was a slim chance of winning. So he began calling him names, trying to get under his skin, but Deku didn't really care until he started talking about his mom and how she should have died. And when Bakugo asked if his dad got milk yet, Deku blew up, and all his held up anger over the years released. The surge of power began flowing out of Deku as a dark mist. His clothes began changing. His hair was covered by a silky cloth, and a gold chain appeared around his neck. His shirt disappeared, and his pants began to sag, revealing his underwear. Bakugo began hearing faint shouting, "World Star! World Star! Damn, you gonna let him talk about your mama like that?" Bakugo was confused and started looking around. Then he heard music slowly rising in volume. He turned towards Deku where the music was coming from and realized he started running towards him. Bakugo started sweating but didn't want to run from a fight, so he ran towards Deku, letting off a powerful explosion. When the dust settled, Deku was nowhere to be seen, and Bakugo began looking around for him. He then heard a sound from the ceiling, and he looked up and saw Deku's heel inches away from his face. Deku's heel came crashing down into Bakugo's face. With Bakugo on the ground, Deku mounted him, planting fist after fist, each connecting with his jaw. As blood began to appear, All Might and the students watching began to fear what Deku had turned into. But like usual anime fashion, Momo, who stayed back to make sure Izuku was okay, ran up to him from behind and hugging him. Deku's flurry of attacks began to slow and eventually stop. Deku, back in his right mind, didn't feel any remorse for Bakugo, and as he was getting off of him, he stepped in his stomach, then continued up the building. When the two reached the bomb room, Deku had Momo make a pair of spiked shoes for the both of them because Todoroki had froze the floor around the door. Deku burst through the door using 10% of One for All, and he turned his sights towards Todoroki, who began attacking him with spikes of ice. Deku used wind pressure to break the ice, and this caused enough time for Momo to run in behind Deku, and she lunged for the bomb, but before she could, Todoroki launched another glacier of ice, but once again Deku blocked it, giving Momo the space to touch the bomb. As she did, All Might sounded the speakers. Hero team win. Bakugo, who was unconscious for 1 hour, woke up in the infirmary. He shot up, and Recovery Girl was surprised that he wasn't in any pain. "What pain?" Bakugo said. Then he looked down at his full body cast. Then a wave of pain hit him like a ton of bricks. He groaned and passed out again from the pain. In the observation room, All Might scolded Izuku for taking it that far, but then praised the two for their good offensive power and strategy. After school, Deku walked home with Jiro, but the whole time she's been side-eyeing him. Deku then stopped and questioned it. Jiro said, "Well, I don't know, maybe you were cozying up with another girl." Deku laughed and hugged Jiro, telling her she has nothing to worry about. The two spent the night at Deku's place, and by now, Jiro and his mom have become close friends. She actually taught Jiro how to cook. They had a huge spread of food, and Jiro went home after the feast. The next day at school, Aizawa told the class about the hero rescue training they will be going on tomorrow. The next day, Class 1A arrived at the USJ, and after a speech from the Space Hero 13, a number of dark portals began appearing around the building, and villains began coming out of them. From a larger portal than the rest, a bird-like monster appeared out of it, and a guy with a hand fetish spoke. "We are the League of Villains, and we are here to kill All Might." If you guys liked the video, like. If you didn't, dislike, and leave me some feedback in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.